The work's going to be there when you get back. And, there's that old adage that nobody ever on their deathbed said, I wish I would have stayed at the office a little bit longer and, continued working on those spreadsheets and TPS reports. The work's never going to be done. Never. It's just going to keep coming, and that's a good thing. A lot of times at the end of the day, we just want to keep working because we see the tasks building up or the emails coming in, and there are certain things that we wanted to get done that day and we didn't get around to doing because other things came up. As an attorney, this is something that I think all attorneys struggle with, and I'm sure many other professions as well, but myself as an attorney, this is what I know. I know that clients depend on us for helping them with their problems, helping them solve their problems, helping them get to a resolution of their problems. And we want to help them, and we want to get them moving in the right direction and get them to a final conclusion. However, sometimes it's not easy because life gets in the way and other people's issues come up that sometimes we have to triage the situation and work on one thing rather than another. So sometimes we walk into one day thinking we're going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and none of those get dealt with on that day. And maybe we get to the first thing that we wanted to the day after. In family law, it definitely is something that each day is a new set of situations that maybe weren't existing the day before. And sometimes people will think, well, that's just maybe poor planning on other people's part, but that's family law. It's emotional, it's tough. It's hard to really plan for some of these things that do come up. So we have to build in, as family law attorneys and attorneys in general, some flexibility to our schedule and realizing what are those hard deadlines that actually absolutely have to happen. I had a hearing this morning, got to be at that. Had a mediation this afternoon, had to be at that. Okay, those are two really hard items. And then other things throughout the day, I was able to hit some certain things that I wanted to get to. And other ones I can put to tomorrow and I can deal with it then. And then things come up throughout the day. And, depending on your situation, with if you are in a firm, depending on what you're doing and what your setup is, if you have a team or just somebody else that can help you, even if it's a virtual assistant, somebody to be able to help, I rely on my team to be able to help when things do come up. So invariably, every day, there's usually something that comes up that wasn't existing the day before. And I initially asked for a team member to try to deal with it to the best of their ability and what they're able to, and before we get myself involved or one of the other attorneys. Our team kind of understands escalation of certain things, what's a true emergency and what's not an emergency. So these are all important things to remember in the grand scheme. And the idea for this video, obviously, is that we're just not going to get to everything that we want to or that we think we're going to get to on a daily basis. And that's okay. At some point, we need to go to sleep. At some point, we want to take some time for ourselves. If we exercise or go on a run or whatever it is that you do, meditate, yoga, whatever, eating right, trying to stay healthy, trying to keep your mind in a right frame of mind, spending time with family, disconnecting, pulling the plug out for a little bit, and obviously spending that time with your significant other, with your family, with friends. The work's going to be there when you get back. And, there's that old adage that nobody ever on their deathbed said, I wish I would have stayed at the office a little bit longer and continued working on those spreadsheets and TPS reports. I think that's true. As an attorney, people do really rely on us. Just like a doctor's not going to walk out of an operating room and be like, all right, got to go. I'm out. It's 5 o'clock. No, sometimes it's the nature of, what you got yourself into when you signed up to be an attorney. If you're watching this video, you're interested in becoming an attorney, or you are an attorney, or you're running a firm, and it's what you signed up for. And it can be tough from that perspective that I'm going to be able to just stop the day at 5 o'clock, because people's problems don't stop at 5 o'clock. So, but for ourselves and for our own sanity, sometimes if it's not like and I'm talking about true emergencies and, if I'm liking it to an operating room, we're talking about the big stuff, the serious stuff. You can't wait until, the next business day. But a lot of things that come up throughout the course of representation of a client is things that can be triaged and can be dealt with in orderly fashion, basically to-dos, tasks, whatever you want to call it, to be able to kind of go through it and keep track of it and kind of as a team be able to, figure out where we're at and if we need to delegate something or have somebody help out on something that's come up. That's an excellent way to be able to do it. But it's okay at the end of the day, to say, hey, I'm done. And the thing we have to remember as attorneys is if you show up to your desk and you open up your email or you look at your calendar and there's literally absolutely nothing on there, that's not a good thing. Having things to do is giving us purpose of what we're doing as attorneys. Having your clients having problems that they need you to help them solve, that's giving you purpose. And that's, you're doing your job and you're likely being compensated for that. That's part of it. So I've definitely had staff and team members over the years that just feel like, I just never feel like I'm going to get done with this. And I've heard other attorneys kind of echo that statement of like, well, if I just get to this end of this, I'll feel like I'm all caught up. Depends on the day, depends on, what type of caseload we're running, but we're usually getting frequent new clients. So it's always refilling itself. So yeah, once a case is over, once a task is done, there's another one that's probably going to be coming. So, that's something I try to remind staff and team that it's good to be busy. It's good to be needed. If our phone's not ringing and we're not getting emails and we're never in court, that's not a good thing. It is good, but we also have to prioritize ourselves, our own health, our own well-being, so that way we can be the best that we can for our clients.